grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinach. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets. I'ma act like I don't see them. I got bad eye vision. Y'all can't pass my scrimmage. While y'all tripping, it's Aruba. I realized I had to go.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 190 of Psychotic and Iconic. Policy here along with my co-host Nick Theories and Philly Phil. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in to the live stream tonight. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and share it. Thank you to everybody that likes, follows, and subscribes to all of our platforms. I know. My microphone was on tonight.
Me. That was not
my
me.
My microphone was on tonight. I apologize.
That was not me.
I apologize. How happy were you that it wasn't you?
Oh, I thought it was me.
I saw you look down.
God damn it.
I saw Phil look over here, and then you look down, and I realized it with your face, and I'm like, oh my God, it was me.
I was like, damn, I thought I turned it off.
I got to practice what I preach.
You absolutely you do.
Bengals Forever is punctual tonight.
He is punctual. Hey, Philly Phil, can you turn up my mic a little bit? Just a little.
What, so you can hear it?
Yeah, I want to hear myself. I like hearing myself talk.
You like hearing yourself talk?
Yeah, because I make the most sense. You know what I mean?
All right, let's go. Was that shots fired early?
No.
All right.
No.
I got you. Bullshit at Bartle. First thing, Titans are dumbasses and fire Mike Vrabel.
Crazy.
Mike Vrabel is one of the most underrated coaches in the NFL, I feel like. I actually can't believe it because that's a trash organization. And for them to just fire Mike Vrabel after you lead Ryan Tannehill to the 1 seed when your best player gets hurt is beyond me. He never had good QB play. Ryan Tannehill was okay, but he was mids.
Yep.
He was a product of the coach because there was a reason Miami got rid of him.
Yep.
So I don't understand that move by the Titans.
I don't get it either.
At all.
I mean,
you ain't finding better.
I don't think Bill Belichick could lead Ryan Tannehill to a number 1 seed.
That's you know that.
I think about Mike Vrabel and the job that he's done with Tennessee. I don't think those premier coaches would get Tannehill to that point.
Nah.
So the fact that he did that, but you know what? For Vrabel, good for him. Good for him.
He's better off.
You know what? He's way better off, and I'll tell you why. Henry's gone. They have no franchise quarterback. They keep drafting quarterbacks and missing, and they don't know who's going to be what. And who else do you got?
But
they traded A.J. Brown, their best offensive player outside of Derrick Henry at that point, and they have nothing else. That defense is a predication of Mike Vrabel and his system. They don't have any Pro Bowlers on that defense, really. There's nobody outstanding on that defense where you're looking at like, oh, yeah, we got to watch him. We got to block him. We can't throw it to that corner. No, he's got his boys playing, and he had them playing at the end of the season where they had nothing to play for.
And I'll say this, too. You draft Malik Willis in the second, and then you take Will Levis in the second in back-to-back drafts.
Right.
And Will Levis showed some grit. He showed like he looked a little bit like a gamer.
But let's be fair, though. When you say they took Will Levis, let's not say that Mike Vrabel had a part in that.
It wasn't Vrabel. I don't believe.
I don't believe that either. And here's why. Because when they traded A.J. Brown, you could look at the disgust on his face on live video that he didn't want to trade him.
It was kind of like, are you serious? Are you kidding me?
Why the fuck would you trade our guy? That was the look that he gave. So, yeah, absolutely. I don't think he's had any input on the roster or anything. I think they have completely, the GM has overridden the head coach the entire time. And you know what? It's probably somewhat fair because he hasn't really proven himself to that point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's giving you 6 good years in Tennessee. His record is 99-54. What the Tennessee Titans were talking
and
about.
then there was something on Twitter I saw. It might have been from like CBS Sports, and it was like Vrabel and Belichick and a few other coaches that had like the worst over the last 23 games. Those two were like top 2 and the worst
record-wise.
And it's like, not for nothing, but
quarterback.
Look at the quarterbacks at what you got. And here's the thing. I actually give Vrabel more of a pass than Belichick because Vrabel has no control over that roster. Maybe not no control, but he didn't go out there. He did the best with what he could.
Yeah.
My point is that Belichick was bringing in those people and signing them to contracts. Devontae Parker and Juju and Hunter Henry and not Johnny Smith. Who's the other dude? The other tight end they got.
Johnny Smith and Hunter Henry.
It was Johnny Smith.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, he got cut and then he went to the Falcons.
Yep.
So I just I don't look at it like that. But to sit there and fire Vrabel when he was the face of the Titans, aside from Derrick Henry, it's crazy. And it was a great point that you brought up with the disgust on his face when they traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles. And it was like, everybody was laughing, especially Eagles fans, because it's like, you just traded us A.J. Brown
For nothing.
for the 17th pick, and I think our second rounder, which turned into Malik Willis.
Yeah, it did actually. Yep, that's correct. That is correct.
It's like, come on, man, what are you doing?
It's incompetency.
And then another incompetent franchise, Atlanta, they fired Arthur Smith. Not that Arthur Smith set the world on fire. He was 7-10 in 8-10 in 3 straight seasons, whatever it would be.
I like them now.
I think Arthur Smith also was making the best he could with a terrible situation.
Absolutely.
When you see Desmond Ritter, every time I feel like the red zone came up, it was Desmond Ritter throwing a pick, fumbling, or getting sacked.
Or throw it in the ground.
Yeah.
Right,
And then, we go back to the whole Kyle Pitts argument where it's like, is Kyle Pitts really this ass, or is he a product of his quarterback? Which I don't like, we go back and forth on this. Jonnu Smith produced.
But it's fair, though.
It is a fair criticism, because you should still be able to get the ball to your best player.
Well, that's your job. Your job as the head coach is to get your best players in the best position to succeed. They failed that. When they drafted Kyle Pitts, he was supposed to be a generational tight end. He was everything but that. Is it his fault? No, I'm not going to blame everything on him. But I believe he could do a better job, too. I don't think it's all on the quarterback, because, like you said, Jonnu Smith was producing. I didn't hear him complain about lack of targets or, the passes being thrown into the ground. How come all the passes to him are accurate? That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. So there's a lot of like inconsistencies in people's arguments when it comes to that. And then you got like Drake London, who I think personally, I think he could play. I think he's one of the really bright young receivers in this game. And they need a quarterback. If they can get a quarterback, I think that team could be really good, because you drafted Bijan Robinson. Yeah, I could argue they didn't use him properly.
I will actually. I was just going to go into that. I will say,
I can see why he got fired, because he didn't use his best players in the best positions.
And you used a 4th pick on him, and it's like, not for nothing. When you saw the
did he or did the general manager do?
That's a fair point.
Also another point.
But you can see the electricity that Bijan brought when he got the ball. But the problem is when he got the ball. And we also said, like, in the beginning, that's why he scared me in fantasy. And when we talked about it was because Tyler Algier was a 1,000-yard rusher the season before. Mm-hmm. And Tyler Algier had a good season again. Yeah. It was just, they didn't properly use that backfield. And then you had Cordero Patterson, and it was just like a logjam back there. And it was kind of like one Sunday, it was Algier's turn. The next, it was Bijan's. Then it was like, oh, Bijan didn't get any carries, and he was sick. I remember we were laughing about that.
Yeah.
And my brother had Bijan. Yeah. And he was freaking out about it. And he's like, I'll never draft him again. And we were laughing about it. It was like, you just didn't know.
Well, what's funny about it is, like, when I looked at Atlanta's roster, even in the offseason, I liked them a lot. They were one of the teams that I thought they were going to be a surprising team this year. Based on the moves that they made, I liked what they have at running back. I liked the tandem between Algier and Bijan. Like, I personally think that could work. I mean, if you look around in the NFL, if you can get a guy that can break away to speed, and then you got somebody that can pound it between the tackles, that's what you want.
Not for nothing, but
you got to be in control of the game for that to work. The problem is they were always behind, so they could never really establish the run like they wanted to, and kind of feed off their two good running backs. So, I think Algier and Bijan, I think they're awesome, bro.
But not for nothing, Nick. Even if you look at going back to Tennessee, Tyjae Spears and Henry complimented each other. Now, albeit the Titans were trash, but Tyjae Spears he had a productive season for being a backup.
Oh, absolutely.
At one point, he was for the majority of the season. I felt like he was out snapping Derrick Henry.
But he was the third down back.
Yeah,
so they were getting him involved slowly but surely, and I felt like that's kind of probably what they should have done with Bijan. But when you draft somebody that high, you got to get him ingratiated into the system quickly.
Yeah.
Hey, running back at 4, come on.
That's what I didn't understand.
Or 6, whatever he was. He was a high draft. He went 4th. He was up there. Well, Pitts went 4.
No, but they weren't in the same draft.
No, but I think Pitts went 4.
Oh, he might have went 8th. He might have went 8th. You're right.
But the thing is like, you got 2 good studs that you just took in the first round of the draft, in the top 10 picks. These guys should be your entire team. They should be taking over. They should be making your quarterback better.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just not working. You know how like I could watch Will Levis, right? DeAndre Hopkins makes Will Levis better. And
Will Levis
ain't the other way around.
And Will Levis was also smart.
Correct.
When you have DeAndre Hopkins, throw him the ball.
Right. But it's coaching too, because I think they have a good nucleus. I like Drake London on the outside. I think they're missing a wide receiver. wide receiver 2. I think they have great running backs. I think their tight end position is solidified if they can get somebody in there that can get Kyle Pitts involved and get him open and scheme him open. That is the biggest question. And I really like their roster. It's a shame that Arthur Smith lost his job, but not for nothing. When you get blown out 41-17 in the must-win game, that's what's going to happen.
It was 48-17.
40. It was 41, and then here comes the controversial.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
So I want to know your thoughts on the whole Jameis Winston thing. Apparently, Dennis Allen told him to go in the victory formation. He faked it, and then the reason that he gave was that the offense as a collective unit said, "Let's do it." They wanted to give Jamal Williams a touchdown because he had 17 touchdowns last year and he had none this year, which again is a load of shit.
Right.
What do you think about that? Because it was funny to me. Shannon Sharp, I should have sent Phil the clip. Fuck. Shannon Sharp eviscerated Jameis Winston, saying he should be cut. He's a loser. He's a poor teammate. And I felt what Shannon Sharp was saying because that's exactly what I felt. You have that much lack of respect for your head coach that your head coach calls a play and you just totally ignore it. And then you try to get him a meaningless touchdown.
Well, let me ask you a question. How much do you think the Saints respect their head coach?
They don't at all. And that move right there shows me Dennis Allen has no control over that team.
The organization as a whole, GM, owner, all that. Do you think they respect the head coach? And I'm only asking for one specific reason.
I don't think they go hand in hand, though.
Perfect. The reason why I say that is because if that happened to Bill Belichick, a player go against his word.
He would have been on the plane home.
That person would have been cut already, and it wouldn't even it wouldn't have been the discussion. That person is not returning to New England if that happens to Bill Belichick, right? Jameis Winston, I think, is going to get a pass. My thing is, why do you have to run up the score at that point? If you're going to run up the score, run a fucking play. Don't line up in victory formation and do a fake handoff to get a touchdown. That's some sucker shit. That is sucker shit, bro. If you're telling me it's over, you're waving a white flag, we are too, good game, it's over, bro. But to run up the score and to get a touchdown because one of your guys didn't score, that's not my problem.
It's corny.
He should have fucking scored all season. He had 17 games to score, and he didn't score one time.
Nick, he started the first 4 weeks of the season.
But my thing is, if I'm Jamal Williams, how do I feel about that touchdown? That's a bullshit touchdown. That's not even a real touchdown. Even if it's all my stats, I get it. But at the same time, it's a bogus touchdown.
It's a one touchdown. Who cares about the stats for one touchdown? You did nothing the entire year to contribute to winning. And not for nothing, when Kamara got back, Kamara went crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's even more of an indictment on how bad Jamal Williams was. And then it's like, oh, let's reward him and get a touchdown. It wasn't an incentive touchdown.
Yeah.
It was meaningless. And all it was poor. It was poor sportsmanship. Here's the thing. We talk shit when we do sports, when we debate, when we do everything. I get it. But my point is, I wouldn't have cared if they ran up the score. It was how it was ran up. Sure. If Dennis Allen called the run play and they went and scored, I had no issue with it.
Don't care.
If you're going to win and you want to win big, by all means do it. You're professional athletes. But when your head coach says go in the victory formation and you come out there and then you give that excuse with the reporter, and I just look at Jameis Winston and I'm like Shannon Sharp said, that's why you were never successful.
Yeah, you never won.
And not for nothing, Shannon Sharp also touched on this point. Baker now in Tampa Bay with damn near the same team as Jameis got him to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And won the division.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's fair or unfair, I mean, it's two different seasons. So like the people in division could be a lot worse than they were.
I get it. But the point is that Jameis had talent around him and Jameis is talented.
Sure.
The problem is Jameis is Jameis.
He's talented, but is he? I mean, he just throws a lot of picks. Like he
30 for 30
in the game. Yeah, right. He's going to throw a lot of picks. But at the end of the day, dude, I think it was a sucker shit move. If you're going to line up and you're going to play, that's what we're going to do. We're going to run the play. But if you're running some bullshit, fake ass victory formation for a touchdown, I'm just not into that. I just don't believe in that. You know what I mean? Like I'm all for playing to the final whistle. Yeah. You know me. Yeah. I'll play to the final. I don't give a fuck if I'm down 48-0. If you're going to line up and you're going to do a play, I'm lining up with it. Whether I don't care what the score is, right? That's how I've always been, right? But when you go into victory formation,
it's different. It's
a different thing. It's saying, yo, the game's over. Good game. That's what you're saying. It's good game. It's over.
Yeah.
Right. But to run up the score, That's some bullshit.
It was the fashion of which they did it. It was the fashion of which they did it.
And I feel like, that's not the reason why Arthur Smith got fired.
No. It had nothing to do with it.
I want to make that clear. That's not the reason
why they got blown out regardless.
Right. Correct.
So that's why I'm like, it is what it is. It was just more. It was more, I feel like when Arthur Smith went and started screaming at Dennis Allen, it actually looked like Dennis Allen was going to apologize.
I think so.
And Arthur Smith was going off. But Arthur Smith, his emotions were high. They got the best of him. He probably knew he was out. Sure. It was his last game. He just got embarrassed. And not for nothing, but if you put a mid-level, like the 15th best quarterback in that team, 16, 7, even as 20.
Yeah.
Even if you throw, I know there's rumors on it, if you put Justin Fields on that team, they get marginally better. They may have 9 wins and they challenge Tampa. It's 2 more wins. I know. I'm just saying. I'm not a huge Justin Fields guy, but he can't be worse than Desmond Ridder.
Oh, you don't know that.
So, yeah, I do. Desmond Ridder is horrible.
Yeah.
Desmond Ridder's horrible.
I can't say the same. I mean, Fields is good. He shows flashes, but you look at his record, it's harder.
No, he's buns too. I'm with you, but what do you think is going to happen with Belichick? Nothing came out yet. He said him and Kraft were going back and forth.
Honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen to Bill. I think Bill is going to stay. The more that time passes, the more I think they're just going to operate as usual. I think they're going to sit down, they're going to have a conversation, as the report's saying, and I think they're going to figure it out. I don't think Robert Kraft even wants to start over either. Hell, even Bill Belichick. That's why Bill Belichick was so okay with relinquishing his rights as a GM. I think that is the reason why he was okay with it, because he's looking around and he's looking around the league. Bro, I'm 70-something years old. Do I really want to go out west? No. Everything is here for me. I'm pretty content where I'm at. I love the Patriots. I want to continue to build on this. And Bill Belichick doesn't seem like the person to shy away from a challenge. And I think that's what the Patriots are. The Patriots are a challenge. So my thing is, I think Bill is going to stay. I think they're going to figure it out. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to get a new offensive coordinator. Maybe Billy O goes somewhere else. And I think they're going to get McDaniels. But you laugh. But the last time that he was their offensive coordinator, they were in the playoffs.
I get it.
With Mac Jones.
I don't think he's a bad coordinator.
I don't think so. I think he is a coordinator. I think he's an offensive coordinator where if I had him on the staff, I'm okay with that because I know what he's capable of. He took Mac Jones to the playoffs, and Mac Jones hasn't been a starter pretty much all year.
I know.
He's been benched for Bailey Zapp, and they were trash.
So I think Belichick's out. I think if he were to stay, I think it already would have came out.
Wow.
And I just feel that right now, I know what you're saying. How do you replace him? But now there is somebody that can replace him that's younger and has a similar style. But for me with Belichick, I've always pointed to the record without Brady. And I've said, all year that it just looks like what's going on recently, the league kind of passed them by.
Yeah.
And I know his defense has always been great. They were great this year. They just had no quarterback. But again, you hired the offensive coordinators, the defensive coordinators, the quarterbacks, the tight ends, the lack of skill players. So for me, when Bill gets all that praise, he has to get that blame. And I just feel like his time is up there. I really do. Outside, and look, it's hard to say that he can't develop a quarterback because he had Brady for 20 years. And it's like, okay, when Brady started out, Brady was mid and Brady got, he went from being a regular quarterback to being the GOAT. And the point of it is that did he develop Brady? Yeah, you have to say that he had some impact on that.
He drafted him.
It goes with it. I know, but he didn't.
What? He drafted the guy.
He drafted him at 199. And if he saw that coming, he wouldn't have gone to the 6th round. You know that,
absolutely.
And I know that.
Absolutely.
But my point is that I just feel like with Belichick there, I just feel like that era is over.
But my thing is anybody else that would draft Brady, they would get the credit. He deserves some credit to draft Brady. Absolutely.
Actually, I'll give you that because people are talking about Shanahan drafting Brock Purdy. So
that's fair.
That is a fair take, and I won't push back on that. I'm with you on that. I
think he's going to stay. It's going to be interesting to see, man. I have a hard time believing the Patriots are going to just let Bill walk, even without a proper send off or something. The guy won 6 bowls, cause 6 rings, 6. Ain't nobody in the league that has more than 3 right now as a head coach. That's half of his rings.
No, I understand that.
I get it. It was with Brady, but nobody has half of his rings currently in the NFL right now. Reed has what, 2?
Reed's got 2.
Doesn't even have a third. He has a third of his rings.
To be honest, if you want to make a compelling argument, you can make a very, very compelling argument that Andy Reid has been more successful than Bill Belichick.
According to what?
According to his record, his coaching tree, and what he's done in multiple franchises.
Who's got more bowls?
But it doesn't matter.
Why?
Because
that's the ultimate goal, though, Mike.
It is.
So win the Super Bowl is the ultimate goal. When you got 6 of them things versus 2, how can you argue?
I get that. But if Andy Reid had Patrick Mahomes when he was younger, it would have been different. He had Donovan McNabb.
Whoa, you said McNabb's a Hall of Famer, though.
I said if he's a Hall of Famer, if Phillip Rivers is.
But you believe McNabb's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I think he's a borderline Hall of Famer, but I believe if Phillip Rivers is in, then Donovan McNabb should be a first ballot. Because I believe that Donovan McNabb was more successful than Phillip Rivers.
It's tough, though. I mean, it's
But
tough.
I know, but my point is that
2 different coaching styles, though.
Yeah.
Fairness.
But Andy Reid is an offensive genius.
Sure.
Andy Reid was successful. He went to 4 NFC championship games with Donovan, 5 NFC championship games with McNabb.
Yep.
He went to 5 now with Patrick Mahomes, or how many with Mahomes? 3? 4? But my thing is that
2-1.
His coaching tree has been more successful.
Who did he lose to?
What?
Who did he lose to? The 2-1 with the Chiefs?
In the championship game?
No, the bowl.
Tom Brady.
That's right. That's right. Forgot about that.
Has Bill Belichick been to a Super Bowl without Tom Brady?
No, I'm not.
I appreciate it.
I'm arguing for Brady, bro.
All right then. As long as you clearing that up. All right, as long as you clearing that up, then we cool. But no, I'm just saying, like, I'm an Andy Reid guy, and just when you see Andy Reid, he's still kicking. The league didn't pass his ass by.
Well, he's got somebody in his prime.
Agreed.
Yeah, Bill don't have Brady in his prime anymore.
Yeah,
but he had a 20-year dominant run.
I know.
I don't give a fuck who's at.
The problem is before. The issue is before and after. He's been suspect, and it's a fair criticism, dude.
It is
because it's not like he's meddling at 500, few games over, few games 100. The dude is like 20 games under 500.
So let me ask you a question. You start your career, it didn't start off hot.
Yeah,
but then in the next 20 years, 2 decades, right? Two fucking straight decades, 20 years, you dominate the league, right? Then all of a sudden, you start to tail off the last couple of years.
Yeah.
What do you think about that career in general? I mean, you dominated for 2 fucking decades, 20 years, bro.
No, and I understand, but here's the problem.
A newborn could get a newborn from the time that he started his run with the Patriots,
yes,
to the time that his run ended with the Patriots.
Yes,
that person, that newborn, can now legally drink.
Yes,
that's how fucking crazy that is.
But the problem is that newborn that was able to legally drink went to another franchise and won it all. And daddy was still stuck in the mud.
Well,
and embarrassed himself. And that's the problem.
I don't think he embarrassed himself, though, because he made the playoffs the year after Brady departed.
1 year, bro. And every other year he's been garbage. I mean, he won 4 games this year. They were the worst team in the league.
Yeah. Well, of course. They don't have a quarterback. But you know what?
That's his fault.
I understand that. But the one thing you didn't say about the Patriots, was their defense.
I said that. I just said that.
Their defense this year,
it was great.
Bro, that's coaching. That is top of the line coaching that you can't find on the open market like that. That's different. Now, look, do I think Bill Belichick is over his head with the GM and head coaching position at this point in time? Absolutely. I think he should relinquish his rights as the GM. Could you imagine Bill Belichick focusing 100% on coaching? Could you imagine the players and the teaching that they're going to get and how much better they're going to be? He has his hands in so many things in that organization. If you take his hands out of all the piles and you only put it into head coaching, that team is going to be very good very quickly.
The problem is he can't get out of his own way with his ego.
Well, that's true. But
he fucked up Mac Jones.
But I actually
but hold on real fast. He is the reason Mac Jones faltered. He's the reason Mac Jones fell. Him and only him.
I don't disagree
because
with that.
Josh McDaniels leaves and you replace him with a bum. A defensive coordinator. That was on Bill Belichick. It stunted his growth. It absolutely did. We're on Twitter, going back to CBS. If you compare Mac Jones to Trevor Lawrence, they have the same stats. Mac Jones statistically has been better than Trevor Lawrence, and that's with trash around them. Devontae Parker, you're signing Devontae Parker, Juju Smith, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry.
Right.
They're garbage. What are you doing? That's your weapons? The Eagles are trading for AJ Brown. The Dolphins are getting Tyreek Hill.
And that's what I'm saying. If he can get rid of the GM role, they get a GM in there that Belichick wildly respects, loves his business acumen, loves the way he thinks, loves the way he evaluates players, all that.
Can't do it.
And Belichick can focus on coaching. That's a different animal.
Can't do it.
But you got to remember, Belichick is doing all this, being successful, the GM, right? For 20 years, bro, dominance, being the GM and the head coach. Come on.
Because the whole question, real thing before we move on, but that's total cap.
Why is it cap?
Because what was the narrative around surrounding Brady for those 20 years? He can win with anybody.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick was never signing big wide receivers. They got one wide receiver in that. And now they drafted Gronk. They got Aaron Hernandez. We don't got to go into that.
Right.
But outside of Randy Moss, it was 5-foot white guys.
Wes Welker, yeah. I mean, he was a really good
It was
player.
Tom Brady. That had nothing to do with Bill Belichick. Because Wes Welker wasn't that good in Miami.
It was a system.
It was. Julian Edelman was a quarterback. I know that. Bill Belichick drafted him. Okay, we want to convert you to receiver. Okay. Tom Brady, bang.
Yeah.
There you go. But real fast before we get into the playoffs, do you have any hot takes or predictions going into the 2024 season?
Hold
on real fast.
Do you have one?
He had a question. Anyone think Belichick would sign as head coach for Seattle since he used to work with Carroll years ago?
Ooh. I'm gonna say no to that Bengals forever, and the reason why I say no is because of the point I made earlier, and that was just because I don't believe Bill Belichick at this point in time is going to uproot his family from the East Coast to the West Coast. I at this point I just don't see it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be out on that, but that's actually a really good eye for that. I mean, that's a really good.
The thing is that they're kind of similar. They would have a good defense. His defense would still work.
Excellent.
And honestly, Geno with those wide receivers, I mean, that actually could be a good landing spot. It's just across the country.
Yeah, he doesn't have to recruit wide receivers.
But the wide receivers are there. The running back is there, and I'm sure he could work with Geno.
That's one thing Bill is ass at is the evaluation of wide receivers. He is absolutely.
I mean, we're talking N'Keal Harry.
He is bottom of the fucking barrel when it comes to the wide receivers. He does not know how to evaluate talent there.
All right, give me a hot take because I got one. I mean, I don't know if it's a crazy hot take. I think Mike Vrabel goes to the Patriots and they sign Russell Wilson.
Whoa, really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I think Vrabel and Russ go to New England.
Wow.
And I think Belichick goes to the Commanders.
Okay. I got one for you too. I said it earlier in the season, and I still believe this. I don't think Mike Evans is going to come back to Tampa Bay next year. I think he's going to outprice himself.
Where's he go?
New York. I think he's going to the Jets to pair up with Garrett Wilson. And he's playing with Aaron Rodgers.
Shit. What about the Chiefs?
But the problem with that is they ain't gonna have any money for the line. But the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs could find a way to get Higgins.
Nah.
Why not?
Too much money. He's going to the Panthers.
Well,
Panthers are gonna write him a fucking. He's gonna get $35 million a year, bro.
If he goes to the Panthers, I mean, you can kiss his career goodbye.
I mean, I agree. I totally agree. I'm not debating that. But all right, NFC playoffs. Eagles got clapped in week 18, 27-10. Cowboys clinched the division. 20 straight years, I think, of no repeat champion.
Wow.
19,
what is 19?
Something like that. 20. I think it was 20 years where they don't have a repeat champion.
Good.
That's a crazy statistic.
That's awesome.
That's a crazy statistic. They're the second seed. Eagles are the fifth seed. The Bucs beat the Panthers 9-0. That was an ugly game. Baker got nicked up a little bit. He was kind of limping. Bro, if you're a Panthers fan or you're a part of that organization, how do you even sell tickets for next year?
I got to be honest with you. I thought the Panthers outplayed the Bucs in that game. And I really do. I mean, look, the guy that made the play of the game was Antoine Winfield Jr. And ironically, he got snubbed for the Pro Bowl a week ago. And that guy deserves every praise. If you watch that play, the way that where he was from the start of that play and for his ass to hustle across the field, knock the ball out at the 1 yard line, bro, what a play. That was the game-changing moment in that game because if Carolina scores, I think Carolina wins that football game. I really do. I think the momentum goes towards Carolina. I think Tampa Bay is playing panic, and I think Carolina is going to go after Baker because they know that he was hurt. I think Carolina would have won that football game if it wasn't for that fumble. I really believe that because Carolina on defense, they had the Bucs number. The Bucs couldn't do jack shit on offense. Mike Evans, I don't know where he was. He had 3 catches for 22 yards, which is ironic because in the first drive, he had 2 catches for 16. So Carolina made some adjustments after the first drive, and they did an excellent job. I thought Carolina was in position to win this game and steal it from the Bucs. The Bucs, honestly, they didn't look impressive. Baker, he hasn't been that impressive, Mike, in the last couple of weeks. Albeit
he hasn't. No,
he could be a little. They
didn't play good teams.
He has been. He's been nicked up a little bit, but they got hot and after they beat the Packers and the Jags, and then after that, they've kind of tailed off. So, I just wasn't impressed by the victory over the Panthers.
There was nothing to be impressed about.
I felt like the Panthers gave them that game.
I know.
I really do. When I watched that football game, I thought the Panthers, they had a lot of miscues where they left a lot of points on the board, and that's the reason why they are the way they are, because they just can't convert on the positive plays. So
Packers beat the Bears 17-9 for the 100th in a row. Justin Fields totally shits the bed, ruined his chance at staying in Chicago. But they Packers back into the playoffs. Jordan Love, man, he was second in the league in touchdown passes this year.
He's number 5, and he's the 5th best passer statistically this year.
Green Bay and these fucking quarterbacks, man.
The 5th, right? Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Yo, shout out to Green Bay, man. Green Bay fucking nailed that shit.
They really did.
They really did, man. They got out of harm's way. All the drama with Rodgers and the shit going on right now, they got out of that in their locker room, bro. They got something. They got a fresh kid in there that has learned from Rodgers, and now he's applying the knowledge on the football field, and it showed because he made the playoffs this year. I gotta salute the man, bro. He did a great job, and he deserves to be.
He earns it. He earned it.
Absolutely.
Who was
they got one there, man.
Who was the biggest loser in week 18?
The biggest loser it's gotta be. Man, that's tough. Who do you think is the biggest loser?
I think it's the Bears organization.
I'm in between.
I think it's Justin Fields. I'm sorry, not the organization. I think it's Justin Fields and Bears fans. Justin Fields lays an egg. They're keeping Matt Eberflus. Yeah, they fired the offensive coordinator. Yeah. But that franchise is just in disarray. They're in disarray. They always are. They can't draft quarterbacks. They can't develop them. I'm sorry. Justin Fields was the most bet MVP guy in the offseason when they signed DJ Moore. He was supposed to turn it around.
Yeah.
Like, not for nothing. DJ Moore's a good wide receiver. He's a good wide receiver. He could be a great wide receiver with a quarterback. And Justin Fields, for whatever reason, just can't do it.
Yeah.
Luke Getsy is the offensive coordinator.
I think my biggest loser is the Giants. I mean, they really had no business in winning this football game. They actually hurt their draft stock. I don't know. That's a team where I'm like, he didn't have to win. You know what I mean? The Giants, like, that's where you're in the position. I get the position they were trying to be in. They were trying to play spoiler because if the Eagles did lose, or whatever, or the Cowboys were losing to the Commanders, that they could have, knocked the Eagles out as well for the division. I don't know. I get that. But they really fucked themselves on the draft. They could have had a little bit better pick than the 6. So I'm gonna go with the Giants on that one, because I think they are a quarterback, and they got a long way to go, because I don't think Saquon's coming back. I don't think they have a backup running back. I don't like anybody.
The Giants that's a good one.
The Giants are trash, bro. They don't have a tight end. They have old ass Darren Waller. He catches a pass and he's on the sidelines for the rest of the game. That's what happens. That's what happened in the game against the Eagles. He caught a beautiful pass, and all of a sudden you never saw him again because he was hurt. Then you got Sterling Shepard. He's already gone. Then you have, who else do they have? They had nobody else. They had nobody. The Giants had nobody on that team for next year. And they had the 6th overall pick. You could have got a better pick if you didn't fucking win. Yeah. So now they're stuck with the 6. And now what do they do at quarterback? They just signed Daniel. They had Daniel Jones on the books for $40 million. So, like, what do you do? What do you do if you're the Giants? They're the biggest.
They're drafting a quarterback. But I agree with you. That's a great take. Who's the biggest winner? Because for me, it's the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, well, we're talking about the NFC, right? This is the NFC winners.
Oh shit! So I didn't realize that. My bad. So the biggest NFC winners? Oh, it's got to be Dallas.
Absolutely.
You get the 2 seed. You get your home games. Yeah. You play better at home than you do on the road.
They were my pick.
So yeah, I mean, Dallas is pretty cut and dry on that. I mean, to be in that position where the Eagles have the easier schedule, they have the tougher schedule.
I'm sorry.
You drop 2, and then the whole thing happens with the Lions. It falls your way. You know what I'm saying? So for the NFC, it's the Cowboys.
Actually, I'm gonna backtrack my statement. It's not the Cowboys. It's 150%. It's the Buccaneers. They lost that game. The Saints are in the playoffs, and Bucs are out.
Yeah, that's true. That's I'm with you.
The winner is the Bucs. They got into the dance. Look, if they didn't get into the dance, they had a lot of questions surrounding that quarterback. Now they got into the dance. I think it could put those questions to bed for a little bit, depending on how Baker plays in the first round. So I feel like they have some positive momentum, making the playoffs. I think that's a huge accomplishment. Only 14 teams make it out of 32. You're better than upper half in the league. So you got to salute him for that. So I think they are the biggest winners in that. And second would be the Cowboys. But the Cowboys didn't really win anything because they didn't even have to win because the Eagles got their ass clapped.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to win.
I know.
So really, yeah, they are a winner in this week, but the Buccaneers, to me, slam dunk.
Yeah. All right. So the seedings are the 49ers are the 1 seed, the Cowboys are the 2 seed, the Lions are the 3, the Bucks the 4, Eagles are the 5, Rams are the 6, Packers are the 7. So you want to give your championship prediction now?
No, we're going to do it later because I have a whole breakdown. You guys want to stay tuned for this. I got a fucking crazy bracket that's going to happen, so you want to stay tuned.
All right.
It's insane. It's crazy talk, but you know what? It's theories, baby. And I came here to fucking pod, and I came here to give you guys my picks. So stay tuned for that, baby. Let's go.
AFC.
Right.
Jaguars lose 28-20. Steelers beat the Ravens 17-10. Steelers got into the playoffs as a 7 seed. The Jags are out.
They are 1 seed, bro.
I know, but I'm over that. Can we have an honest conversation about Trevor Lawrence?
I'm over that. I like that.
I am. I'm over that. I'm over it because Trevor Lawrence, when he came out, was talked about like he was going to be that next dude, and he's been far from it. Yeah. And I'm tired of it now. First, it was Urban Meyer. They get Doug Peterson. Yeah. They start out like shit, 3-8. They get on a little bit of a heater.
Call fire.
They win that. They They win the playoff game against the Chargers. Everybody, including us, thought Trevor Lawrence was taking that jump.
Yeah,
we were all dead wrong. This year, he reverts back to the same thing. Oh, he was 8-3 before his injury. I don't care. His stats were garbage. I think he had 9 touchdowns in the first 8 games. And it's like, bro, that's not what taking the next leap is. And for me with them, I'm just so over the Trevor Lawrence stuff. Trevor Lawrence is ass. He may be good in a few years. He may be good next year. But right this second, Trevor Lawrence is some shit.
I think he's a mid-level quarterback.
He's a mid-level quarterback.
I don't think he's some shit because when I see him throw in the pocket, he's got good mechanics. He's got good delivery. He throws a good ball. I just think he's wildly inconsistent. And he's missing guys wide open like fucking Calvin Ridley. That was your chance in the game. Did you see that play where he missed them completely wide open? I mean, look, you play 17 weeks in the season. That's a throw you got to make at week 18. You know what I mean? Like if you miss that throw early in the year, okay, maybe you're rusty. It's earlier on. You'll catch fire. Week 18 and you're missing a throw like that with the game on the line. Your playoffs are on the line. You're the franchise quarterback. You got to make that play.
Real fast.
Make that play.
Tom said, I know we lost Kirk, but he said, I'm out on him too. And I agree with Tom. I know Kirk was a huge loss, but when you are that dude, when you lose a guy like that, you can elevate the level of play with your whole team. And he just didn't. In fact, he was the problem.
Was Evan Ingram still there?
That's what I'm saying.
Travis Etienne still there?
And what about Calvin
really still there?
So I don't understand that. But I mean,
Jones was hurt, but I think he's a good player, by the way.
He is. But I'm in total agreement with Tom on that. Like I know, losing Christian Kirk sucks.
True.
But by the same token, Trevor Lawrence, bro, you are talked about like you're one of the 5 best quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And you're not even one of the 10 best quarterbacks. So that's where I'm at on that.
I mean, look, it's going to be a topic of conversation for the offseason for sure. I think they have a long all season in Jacksonville. I think they have a lot to figure out. What did they do with Calvin Ridley, right? Like, what did they do with the quarterback position? Obviously, they're going to stick with
Calvin Ridley lost a lot of money because I know he's up for his contract, but he's not getting a big deal. He's just not.
I don't think he's getting Christian Kirk money.
Like he doesn't warrant it.
No, I think he might get OBJ money though. With the Ravens, couple years.
What, like 1 year, $15 million?
That's the market, man. You know what I mean? Whether you think it's high or not, that's just the market value. So the bottom line is, I just think that I think he's going to get paid regardless. I think somebody out there is going to want a speedy receiver that can have potential for wide receiver 1 status. Like they'll take a risk on somebody like that because I think their logic could, a GM's logic could be like, well, he sat out a whole year. From the whole gambling thing, and then he come back. All right, he got 1 year.
I did say I didn't like that when you said that year. It takes time to get up. I
was way off of Calvin Ridley. I thought he was going to be a slam dunk, home run, certified star in Jacksonville, where he was going to change life in Jacksonville for that entire offense. And it didn't work out for him. And it's it's puzzling too, because they have good running backs. They got good pieces.
And after the first game, he looked like he was going to set the world on fire. The first game or two, it was like, oh shit. All right, maybe he's fine.
You're like, yo, bro, you were right. You were spot on. And then after that, I just like, damn, like I was way off after that. But yeah, man, it's an intriguing all season for the Jags. They, that was our 1 seed going into the season. And man, they made us look foolish. I'll tell you that. They made the world look foolish.
Texans beat the Colts 23-19 and win the AFC South due to the Jags losing. CJ Stroud, bro. Excellent. That dude he's excellent. He's money.
He's awesome.
He is money.
He's great player.
He's money. I'm really rooting for them this weekend.
Yeah, I think what impresses me about him is just like in critical situations, man, he steps up. You know, the first offensive play of the game, the guy goes down and just throws a bomb. That's the way to set the tone, right?
Yeah.
Your defense goes down, they give up points. First fucking play of the game, you air it out. And I always believe in that too. First play of the game or any type of drive, just air it out, man. If you got the skill set players around you, take your chances down the field if it's open. When you got one-on-one coverage with Nico Collins against a safety or a corner, I'm taking Nico Collins 10 times out of 10 any day of the week due to his size, speed, and athleticism. He is excellent, man. And I think CJ Stroud is really bringing out the best in Nico Collins because we've never seen Nico Collins perform at this level. So I think Nico Collins is a really good up-and-coming star wide receiver in this league. And CJ Stroud, to have him paired, man, it's going to be bright days ahead in Houston. And I'm happy they're in the playoffs, man. It's really like a breath of fresh air to see something new into the playoffs. And what a story they were. They won 3 games last year. So salute to the Texans. And Tom's right. He had flashes last year, though. He did have flashes, but this year he's shown a lot more consistency, and that's due to his quarterback making him a better player, vice versa. You know, I believe that. So yeah, absolutely, man. This team's got a bright future. And wow, man, I can't say enough about CJ Stroud.
Yeah, and also D'Amico Ryans. If he doesn't win Coach of the Year, it's the biggest robbery in the history of the world. They were projected to win like 3 or 4 games, dude. Their over and under, I think, was 4.5.
My vote would go to Kevin Stefanski.
That's so ridiculous.
I don't think so.
That's so ridiculous.
But why is that ridiculous?
Because he had a rookie,
right?
And he made the wide receivers better and the team better.
Okay.
That's all. It's the Houston Texans, dude. They weren't projected to be good for years because of trading Watson.
Look.
That organization was in shambles.
All right. The bottom line is, did anybody see the Browns having 11 wins? Right. But nobody listened to me because they don't. So that's okay. But the injuries they had this year were very significant. You lost Nick Chubb. You lost your starting quarterback who you pay $250 million for, right? Whether that's a loss or not, whether they got better or not after he departed, so what? You still have money on the books for that guy to take up that cap space. So you got Deshaun Watson on there, right? You lost Nick Chubb. You had injuries on the offensive line. You had injuries on the defense. They have depleted their whole team from injuries. What did they do? They bounced back. They fucking signed Joe Flacco, and their defense never batted an eye. Their defense looks fantastic, possibly one of the best defense in the league, and their offense is clicking on all cylinders like I've never seen before. Joe Flacco looks like he's in his prime. He's throwing pinpoint accuracy passes to like I'm on the
I am blown away about Joe Flacco.
He's throwing into some tight windows in the red zone, where if there is no space for error in the red zone, he is throwing seam passes over the linebackers and getting his tight end involved right there on the money, and it's always a touchdown. The guy's playing fantastic. When you can run the football like that, Kevin Stefanski has held this locker room all season long. All the turmoil from Deshaun Watson, all the backlash from Deshaun Watson and all that shit, he's held this team like glue. He has to get some consideration. I think I would probably go with Stefanski.
No way.
And I see the D'Amico Ryans thing. I do. But D'Amico Ryans,
But nobody was talking about the Texans the way they were talking about the Browns. The Browns have the best defense in the league. Understood. They have Amari Cooper. They had Nick Chubb. And I know Nick Chubb got injured. But they said that the offensive line is great. This, that, and the third. Stefanski had a lot more to work with. D'Amico Ryans was projected to be trash. They were, is it a good hire? It's a defensive head coach, blah, blah, blah. Then you get CJ Stroud, who's a rookie. He's got, 25 touchdowns and like 5 picks?
Yeah, he's
it's crazy. And then like Nico Collins, Nico Collins did show some good things last year. And I know the quarterback was ass. I can't even remember. I can't think of the dude's name.
But you got to think about it. I'm going based on the entire body of work, right? And I get the Texans. I totally do. Their division's ass. Cleveland's is a gauntlet.
Yeah.
They got 3 teams in the playoffs.
That's fair.
Steelers, Ravens, and Browns. Bengals, who are...
Well, the Colts and the Jags were right there, too. They're not on that level, but...
The Bengals are a solid team, I would say.
They won 9 games.
They won 9 games. That division, to be in that position...
Is messed up. I got you.
And they were 1 win away from being the 1 seed. If they would have beat the Ravens and they swept them, they would have been the 1 seed. That's crazy.
That's wild to think
With
about.
all those injuries, everything that's happened and transpired, to be the glue of that franchise, you have to be considered.
I know. On the other side, in the AFC East, Bills beat the Dolphins to win the AFC East, which is crazy since they were 6-6. I can't believe they won the division.
I can't believe it either.
I really can't believe that. And I was going to ask you the biggest loser and the biggest winner for the AFC now, since I didn't realize that. But for me, the biggest loser is the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. Because you drop all the way to the 6th seed. Yeah, you dropped it a 6th seed.
Yeah.
And then for the biggest winner would be the Bills. The Bills organization's the biggest winner. And listen to me here. They're winning despite Josh Allen not really playing that well. They were 6-6. Yep. They ripped off a 5-game winning streak. Josh Allen, last game, 359, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Game before that, 169 yards, no touchdowns, and interception. Game before that, 237 yards, a touchdown, and interception. 94 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. 233 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. That was his last 5 games. But it's different now for the Bills to be able to win with Josh Allen not being the entire team.
Right.
So for me, I feel like that gives them a lot of confidence that they can win in different ways and they're not so dependent on Josh Allen. They still are. They need Josh Allen to play well because he's still going to put pressure on defenses because he's so fucking talented. Mm-hmm. But for them to be winning, and not to mention, Stephon Diggs hasn't really been anything.
Right. Right.
Stephon Diggs has been nothing, honestly. Now, they had that one bomb in that game, but that was kind of like, all right, cool. He's still there.
That was the old Josh Allen and Diggs connection, though.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know what's going on there. That remains to be seen.
Right.
But for the Bills to be in this position with with Josh Allen not playing to Josh Allen standards, that's awesome for them. Good for them. Seriously, good for them. To be in the 2nd seed after being 6-6 in the AFC, good for them.
All right. I have a different perspective. The biggest winner in Week 18, and this might shock you, right? The biggest winner in Week 18 for the AFC, it's the Miami Dolphins. I know they lost division. I know that, right? I know they fall from the 2 to the 6, right?
Yeah.
But in the first, if they would have won that game, they would have played Buffalo in the first round. They just played Buffalo. I don't think that goes well, right?
Yeah.
But if I look at the first round matchup, Dolphins at Chiefs, I think the Dolphins have a better chance to win that game against the Chiefs than they do against the Bills.
So we talked about it a little bit when we were talking about it. And I love that. I love the way you did that because we talked about it a little bit and we were saying like, I said the Dolphins shouldn't want to win this game.
No.
Because for them to then go have to try and beat the Bills in back-to-back weeks.
In the same place.
That's tough to do.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't believe, I don't think the Bills could have done it. And my thing is that.
Or the Dolphins.
That's actually a really good point. I didn't think of it like that. And I love that take. I really do, dude. That's good shit. So the seeding in the AFC, the Ravens are the 1 seed, the Bills are the 2, Chiefs are the 3, Texans are the 4, Browns are the 5, Dolphins are the 6, and the Steelers are the 7.
Bro, this playoffs is going to be crazy.
Let's get into Saturday's games. Browns -2.5 at the Texans. These teams are the 2 teams that did the trade for Deshaun Watson back in 2022, which is I'm so happy for the Texans. They got rid of that pile of shit. CJ Stroud versus Joe Flacco. Years of experience, Super Bowl winner versus a rookie that has no idea what he's doing.
I got to be honest with you, man. This bodes well for Joe Flacco. The experience in the playoffs is everything. The magnitude, the moment. I would lean towards Joe Flacco having the edge here. I know CJ Stroud's a better quarterback, but in positions in terms of playoffs, I'm always going to take the veteran quarterback that's been there, won a bowl, and has experience. I will take Joe Flacco in this matchup here.
I'm torn on this, to be honest. Because here's the thing.
I get it.
I want to say Joe Flacco, but my theory and why it would be Joe Flacco is the experience. But the reason I say CJ Stroud is CJ Stroud is obviously better. Joe Flacco was on a little bit of a heater. And it's like, is it sustainable?
True.
I don't know if it's sustainable. Like it would not, I don't think it would shock anybody if Joe Flacco comes out there in 2 days and shits the bed.
I think people will be like, we saw that coming, right?
No, I that's what I'm saying. I feel like people would just be like, it was bound to happen.
It was bound to happen.
So I feel like if Joe Flacco stays on this trajectory, everybody's going to be like, all right, what's going on? But for me, I think the edge is Stroud. I think he's younger. I think he can handle. I think he can handle pressure better because he's agile enough to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco's not that anymore. So that's where I'm at on that.
Well, CJ Stroud's going to need to do that this week.
I was just going to say that because I was just going to say the X factor is going to be, can CJ Stroud avoid that pass rush or get the ball out quick enough to negate that pass rush?
Myles Garrett's coming.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I don't know. And then my X factor for the Browns is, can Joe Flacco sustain the level of play that he's at?
Yeah.
And that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
If Joe Flacco comes out there and he's slinging it the way he's in, this game's going to be 35-35. It's going to be 35-30.
Right.
So I don't know. I think this is going to be one of the best games of the weekend. I love this game.
All right.
Do you have X factors on this?
My X factor is David Njoku.
Yo, can we speak on him for a minute?
The guy.
He got burned and was like, all right, I'm trying to burn.
I don't mean to laugh at that because that is a really sad story. But like, yeah, ever since he got burned, they burned me. Yeah, the 50 Cent voice.
Yeah.
They burned me over and over and over.
That's a throwback.
What they supposed to. They burned me. Yeah. Ever since that shit, that motherfucker's been on a tear, man. He's literally been on fire.
Yeah.
Like legitimately been on fire. So he is my X factor. He took over that game, that last important game that they had. I forget who they played. They played who the fuck did they play? Where he smoked everybody. It was their last game. Cleveland's last game. Meaningful game. Not last week's, but the previous week. Who they played?
The Jets?
Was it the Jets? No, they played another formidable opponent. What was the he fucking lit them up.
Yeah, we were laughing about it.
Fucking absolutely lit their ass up. I think it was the Jets. You might be right. It was a Thursday night game, right?
Yeah, because we were saying he was torching the defense.
Yeah, and the Jets' defense is really good.
That's what it was.
And he absolutely dominated.
Don't doubt me, bro. You don't have to doubt me. That was fucked up.
Without Amari Cooper, right? Mm-hmm. Elijah Moore got hurt in that game, and he still dominated. That team he's the X factor. If they could stop him and negate him, they're gonna have a chance to win this football game. But if he roams free like he was doing against the Jets, they got zero chance to win this game.
I agree.
Zero.
All right, so I'm taking the Texans here.
Okay.
On the money line. I think the Texans win this game. I actually can't believe the Browns are 2.5 points favorites.
I can.
In Texas.
I can. I'm taking the Browns. I got the Browns to win this football game. I think the Browns.
Do you think they cover the 2.5?
I think they covered the 2.5. I think they win by 6.
That's crazy.
I think CJ Stroud's going to have a long day. I really do.
We're going to see. We're going to see how he operates.
I think that defense in Cleveland, they got a week rest. They're going to be ready for this. All right. They've been waiting for the playoffs for a long time.
Do you think the week rest fucks with Joe Flacco? Could he get out of rhythm?
No,
he's old. I mean, not for nothing. He came home from the crib and started lighting it up the first game he was there. So
I think the rest helped. I think in that week they could build even more team chemistry. He's loving playing football. He looks like he's playing.
He's having fun. I know. I'm with you.
And he even said that in his interview. That's a scary motherfucker, man.
It's a scary 7.
You play against somebody that has nothing to lose, enjoying what they do. Look out.
I know.
Give me the Browns. The Browns are going to win this football game. CJ Stroud had a great year. Texans had a great year. I'll be looking forward to seeing them in the offseason, talk about them because they're going to be a really good team to talk about in the offseason.
Does Flacco come back?
Well, I don't know. I don't think he comes out of the Browns.
Yeah.
They're too tied up in Deshaun Watson. But I'll tell you what, I think Joe Flacco gives him a better chance right now to win the Deshaun Watson. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't.
Even to start the season, give me Flacco.
Absolutely.
It's not close. I watched Deshaun Watson.
We're going back with this dude on Instagram.
He ain't that good.
Deshaun Watson is mid. I don't care what. Look at this, bro. His stats were garbage.
It's not even that. Look how the Browns blow out teams when their offense is clicking because their defense is so good. The Browns on December 24th. You'll like this one, Mike. However, the Browns did play the Texans on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
The Browns beat them in Houston 36-22. Now, do you think that game has a factor?
I mean, you know how I look at it. It's hard to beat a team twice.
Like, bro, I think everybody and their mother is going to take the +2.5 for the Houston Texans. They're a popular team. Everybody's rooting
We'll
for
see if
them.
that line moves.
If it moves, it's going to move in the Browns' favor.
We'll see. We'll see.
I believe
to be honest.
I think it's going to move to 3. And I would take the Cleveland Browns because I think.
And you're going to take a hot L.
Well, I think the sucker bet is the Texans. They're home and they're getting points. I'm getting CJ Stroud. I'm getting the coach of the year. I'm getting Nico Collins, and I'm getting points. It's a sucker bet. I would take the Browns here. They're a better football team.
Bad news. We'll see. I think that's going to be a great game to start off the playoffs too.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Dolphins at Chiefs. Chiefs -4. Tyreek Hill goes back to Kansas City where he was traded from. What do you think about the Dolphins? Is there a way for them to actually pull off this upset? It's going to be 0 degrees with a wind chill of like -20.
Well, I don't think. Look,
that is. If you get hit in that,
I know.
Do you know how bad that's going to hurt?
Well, look, I actually think that kind of plays into the Chiefs factor. Because I think Miami operates off speed. And I don't know how fast you're going to be when it's 0 degrees. Because when you hit that ground, your fucking toes are going to be frozen. That ground is going to be hard, bro. It ain't going to be easy. It's going to be hard. Pause.
Yeah.
That ground is going to, if you get hit on that ground, even running on solid ground like that doesn't really bode well for quickness. I like the only way Miami could pull off this upset, and there's really only one way, is if they can get big explosive plays from Devin Chain in the running game. And if Mostert plays, great.
They're going to be running that ball.
They need to run the football.
They are going to run the ball. It's going to be freezing cold. It's going to be windy. It's going to be like that. Because here's the thing. I think Kansas City's offense is still going to struggle. I don't think there's a switch coming. And now, not for nothing, but you want to line them wide receivers up in a high-stakes playoff game where the pressure is even more?
Yeah.
Those wide receivers are trash. We've been saying. And look, I know the linebackers are out for the Dolphins, so it may be a little bit difficult now with Travis Kelce. But let's be honest here. Travis Kelce was like a shell of himself this year.
Right.
He was not Travis Kelce at all.
No, absolutely not.
He was Travis Scott.
It was, yeah.
So
she sucked the soul out of him.
That's what happened. He got a booster, got the soul sucked out of him, and it was over. It was over for him, and that's okay. That's okay. But no, I think the Dolphins have the formula to do it because they're such a ground and pound game. And look, it was 21-14 the first time they played. And they had a chance, and then Tua threw that pick.
I think the whole Tua can't play in the cold is a myth. I saw the man go to Buffalo and go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen.
And it was snowing.
It was snowing last year, and they were battling that game.
Tyreek Hill, your best player, he played in Kansas City. He knows what it's like. You don't think he's going to have intel?
Yeah, he'll be all right.
So I'm with that.
It's going to be awesome. I mean, I'm excited to see Tyreek Hill in Kansas City, though.
Here's the thing. I think Kansas City's offense was buns all year.
Yeah.
They just remind me of a team that this year they don't have that juice. And I don't think there's a magic switch that's coming on. And I think everybody's going to be betting the Chiefs like it's over. And it's bad news.
Wow.
And the Dolphins are going to upset them. They're a first-round playoff. And the Chiefs are a first-round playoff exit.
Wow. Okay. That's a prediction?
Yeah. Okay. The Dolphins are, I believe the Dolphins are winning this game.
Wow. Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I really do.
What's your logic, though? Just based on
my logic is that I think the Dolphins are a better running team, which will help them. I think Tyreek Hill is going to be the second best player on that field, second to Patrick Mahomes. And I don't think Patrick Mahomes has the weapons. And then look, I know you're in 0 degree weather and their team is from Miami, but you don't think Kadarius Toney and Marquez Valdez-Scantling can't catch balls off of a jug. They're going to catch that hard ass football coming 50 miles an hour.
That shit,
it hurts.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying.
The jug machine hurts too, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And you now have all of that pressure coming on you even more after you had a piss poor season. I like them. I like Miami's spot. And they're coming off a loss. I like Miami's spot.
All right. Look, everything you just said, right? Chiefs struggle in offense. Miami has a great offense, right? All the things you mentioned. Miami can run the ball better. Chiefs can't run the ball better than the Dolphins. But somehow the Chiefs are 4-point favorites.
Just aura.
Everybody's going to jump on the Miami line. When you can get Miami Dolphins, you can get Tyreek Hill, you can get their explosive offense that they've displayed all season long versus a team that hasn't shown jack shit offensively and they're 4-point dogs. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, bro, the Dolphins, everybody says the Dolphins don't beat good teams.
Well, look, I'm going to take the Chiefs here. I got Andy Reid. I got the experience. I got Patrick Mahomes. I'm not betting against that phenomena against the Dolphins. Like the Dolphins don't scare me to knock off those premier guys in the NFL.
I got you.
Like Mahomes and Reed. Like, I don't think the Dolphins are built like that yet. I think they have too many injuries. If they had Waddle and Mostert, we could have a different conversation.
Waddle's out, right?
Waddle's out. Mostert is he's up in the air. But regardless, I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I think Chris Jones is going to have a monster game. I think he's going to get after Mahomes. I think Kansas City's defense is the one that's being slept on the most. And I got to be honest with you, I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to be roaming the field like you think.
But bro, you can score. I know the Chiefs defense is good, but you can score. All you got to do is get to the mid-20s because the Chiefs can't score.
Don't disagree. But the Chiefs defense is very good. You got to get to that point.
I know, but I think it's easier for an opponent to get to 25 points on the Chiefs defense than it is for the Chiefs to get 25 points.
Wow.
That's how I view the Chiefs. I don't think they can score. And here's the thing. If Miami goes up 14-0, just Mahomes throws a pick, Pacheco fumbles, or they get the ball, they go down there and score, they're not coming back.
Look, and this is just a prediction, right? I know what we saw Kansas City offense struggle all year. And I think they're going to struggle? Yes, I think they're going to have some struggles in this game. But I think you're going to see a little bit different offense. I think you're going to see a little bit more balanced approach. I think you're going to see a lot more Pacheco. I think you're going to see a lot more play action passes, getting Travis Kelce involved in the middle of the field like he always did. Get your guys open in space. And to do that is to run the football and run it effectively. I think that's what the Chiefs are going to do game plan wise. And I think they're going to get Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce in space like they have in the past. And I think it's going to be the recipe for success in this game. I will take the Chiefs here, but I'll have the Dolphins to cover. I think it's a really big line though.
I don't think it's that big.
I really
pause. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I think 4 is like, I think that kind of is like respectful to the Dolphins for, and everybody says like the Dolphins can't beat good teams, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. I mean, so I just feel like 4 is kind of low, to be honest. I feel like that's kind of low, especially in the weather. And everybody say, oh, Miami can't come up there and play. And it's like, all right, well, why are you only 4-point favorites? They should probably be 5 or 6 points. I actually think it's a Miami line.
Wow. I think the opposite. But that's okay.
What else is new?
Good. That's good. Good content.
All right, let's go to Sunday. Steelers versus the Bills. Bills -10. You think there's any shot in an upset here?
Yes, there is a shot.
Because
there's always a shot, right? The one thing that Pittsburgh can do, run the football. Control the clock, play good defense. If they can do that consistently throughout the whole game and force Josh Allen to create to make turnovers, Steelers are going to be in this game. 10 points is a lot of points for a Mike Tomlin football team. I don't give a fuck who you got. I would take the 10 points. If I'm a bettor and I'm betting this game, I'm taking the Steelers +10. I'm getting a Mike Tomlin coach football team, and I know what they're going to do. They're going to come out and they're going to hit you in the mouth. They're going to play hard, and they're going to give you everything they got. I'll take the 10 points. Oh, yeah, me too. But I'll take the 10 points here. I think that's a crazy line. I think Pittsburgh can pull off the upset, but I don't think they will. Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot closer than the 10-point is indicating.
So I'm the same way. I don't understand giving Mike Tomlin 10 points. I really don't. And look, I understand it's going to be Rudolph or Pickett. Personally, I would go with Rudolph. They've been able to score 30.
Yeah.
Or for Kenny Pickett, man, I thought he was going to take a leap this year. Yeah, I had the Steelers in the playoffs, but I had him in the playoffs because I thought Kenny Pickett, the preseason, he looked good. I thought he ended the season looking all right last year. He looked like a gamer.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to take a big step this year, which is, like I said, why I put him at the 7th seed. But for me, dude, with the God damn.
That's right. You had them in the playoffs.
I had him as the 7th
Steelers,
seed.
Yeah.
But I don't. Here's the thing. Again, with the Bills, I don't know what I'm getting. And that's what it comes to. And this is the type of game where you have a head coach like Tomlin that can put a game plan in place. And if the game plan goes according to, they can screw around and keep this game uncomfortably close. And then if you keep it close and there's 5-6 minutes left in the fourth quarter and Josh Allen and does something just where you look at, like when he threw that pick in the end zone on the first pick he threw, where you look at him and you're just like, bro, are you good?
What are you looking at?
And that is where I make the comparison where I'm like, all right, Josh Wentz.
Josh wins.
Because that is
Get
stupid.
the hell out of here.
I'm just saying that is shit that Carson Wentz did. I watched it as an Eagles fan and as a Carson Wentz guy.
Don't put Josh Allen and Carson Wentz.
But Carson Wentz was extremely talented, and then he got injured and it got ruined.
Yeah,
and that's a fair thing.
Yeah, but Carson Wentz didn't go 3 seasons in a row with 40+
because he got hurt.
Well,
but Carson Wentz was the MVP favorite.
But he wasn't going to do it regardless.
You don't know that. Carson Wentz had 34 touchdowns and 7 interceptions before he got hurt.
Like, Josh Allen is the only player in history to do that.
I don't give a fuck. And he's never made an all-pro and he's never won an MVP.
But I'm saying,
and you've never been close to winning an MVP.
He would have put up 40 touchdowns in 3 seasons in a row. That's my argument.
You don't know. Carson Wentz was voted the best player in the NFL this season after that ACL injury. But different argument for a different day.
That's
because it's not a
wins, bro. I fucking hate
I know you do.
They win though.
But here's the thing: even if you hate somebody, you can still be you can still be objective and call it what it is. They have the same style of play. Very reckless. They make wow plays, and then they make plays where you look at them and you say, "Are you all there?" And that's the God's honest truth. And I'm not comparing them in terms of who's better. I'm just saying they both make plays. Are you serious?
I got you. The similar style.
If there's 5-6 minutes left in the game and the game's tight, I worry about Josh Allen.
I don't. I actually think he's pretty clutch. I think Josh Allen's been in clutch. Look at all the games that he's been in, that were close. When he needed a drive to tie the game, to get his team ahead, he's done it. He's done it, Mike. He has. He even did it in Kansas City when he played him and got boned in that fucking 13-second thing. He went down the field and scored quickly. Quick striker, baby. That's what he does. It's Josh Allen, guys. It's Josh Allen. This guy is awesome. He makes stupid plays, yes. But, bro, the dude's a baller.
He is.
He's got command of the team.
I've never said that he wasn't a baller. All I've said is that I don't trust him in moments because he makes too many damn reckless bonehead plays.
I get that. Well, during the game he does, but not in crunch time. In crunch time, I've seen him go down the field multiple times and score a touchdown when his back was against the wall.
That's fair, but I've also seen him fumble and throw the red zone interception.
But that wasn't the game on the line. Game on the line, he hasn't done that.
He almost lost it against Miami in the playoff game last year.
Almost.
That's because Miami's stupid.
Right.
But they were on stare, and it was Skylar Thompson.
I get it. But
I know what you're saying. I got you.
Back against the wall, Josh Allen is at his best when his back's against the wall. Ironically enough, I know it's weird to say that when he's committing all these turnovers and bonehead plays, but back against the wall when his team needs it the most, he delivers.
And honestly, you know what makes that argument really strong, where it kind of has me pinned, where I'm kind of like, I can't really say anything. They were 6-6, and his back was against the wall, and he ripped off 5 straight wins.
I can't.
So I agree there. I think that's a good point.
I wish he was a little bit more consistent throughout the year. We can cut out these turnovers because if he gets rid of these bonehead plays, bro, he's the best quarterback in the league.
That's who he is, though, and you're going to have to live with it. It's been 6 years, and it's not changing. You got to take the good with the bad, but he's talented enough to overcome it. Yeah, he's talented enough to overcome it. I have the Bills winning this game. I think they win by a touchdown.
Okay.
It would not surprise me though with Mason Rudolph if they just got paws put on them. It's just I have more respect for Mike Tomlin than that, to be honest. But I feel like people are going to be betting the Bills like crazy.
100%.
Because the Steelers have just been dead in the water.
100%.
So, but I think the Bills are rolling. And I also think it's a great spot for them to get ready for that divisional round.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Bills here. Like I said, I think it'll be a touchdown, 8 points. It might even push.
Okay.
I just don't, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got paws put on.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I think the Bills are one of the scariest teams in the AFC right now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right? Like you can't deny that. But this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. I think the Bills fans are going to be on the edge of their seat for majority of this football game. I think the Steelers are going to bring it. I really do. I think they're going to look at that point spread and they're going to be like, 10 points, really?
Especially if Tomlin's thinking about taking time off and all that shit.
Yep. That team's going to be ready. They're going to give the Bills everything they got. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at them. Why? Because they had nothing to lose, bro. They got Mason Rudolph as their fucking quarterback. What they have nothing to lose. But those are the scariest teams that you don't want to play against. That's why
I'm glad you said that.
This game is going to be very, very close. I will take the Bills in this game. I got the Steelers to cover, but this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. And I'll be honest with you, I would not be shocked if the Steelers beat the Bills. I just wouldn't be shocked because the Bills. Well, look, listen. The Bills are due for a loss. They have won how many games in a row?
5.
You're fucking due. You're due.
Look, I just want to say this though. I don't want to hear no more Josh Allen shit if he falls to Mason Rudolph and the Steelers, bro.
Oh well, I still want to be a Josh Allen supporter.
I understand that, but we're gonna have to have conversations.
We're
gonna have to have conversations. You can't.
Sure.
This is a great opportunity for Josh Allen and the Bills.
I think so too.
And you get a layup. And I don't want to say a layup. I have more respect for them than that. But you get the Steelers that can't score points.
Well, here's the thing. This is a great opportunity for the Bills.
Very curious to see what happens with Stephon Diggs too.
Well, I think the 2 seed is where they want to be. They don't got to play the Ravens potentially until the championship game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they are
lined up perfectly.
Good, man. I really do. So I got the Bills in this matchup, and I think it's going to be a close one for sure.
Packers at Cowboys minus 7.5. Mike McCarthy's facing his former team. Jordan Love's first playoff game. I can't believe we're even saying that. I do want to say this too, and it's not even to toot my own horn, but I said when that line came out and the Packers were 7.5 point win total, I said that was my favorite one on that sheet, and I said it because you were 8-9 the year before. You lose Aaron Rodgers, you run back the same team with a quarterback that hasn't played in 3 years, and your win total went down a half a game. And for Jordan Love to be in this situation, and like I said I didn't know what he was. I didn't know if he was going to be good. I didn't know if he was going to be trash.
Right.
Reports were mixed. Some were saying he was all right. Some were saying he looked like shit.
Struggling in camp, yeah.
But good for Jordan Love. This is awesome. And I feel like you just mentioned this, and I said, thank you for saying that. The teams that have nothing to lose and don't know, this is this team.
Oh, you think the Packers are the team?
The Packers are this team.
Okay.
Matt LaFleur has playoff experience, and I know McCarthy does too. We're going to talk about McCarthy now because I think this is a must win for Mike McCarthy.
If he loses this game,
he's out. Done. He will be fired.
Absolutely.
He will be fired before the divisional round.
100%.
And the reason I say that is that everything is set up perfectly for you. And I feel like with the Packers, I just feel like the way they've been playing, they have so much confidence. And Jerry Jones did something that when I talked to you the other night, I'm like, I think the Cowboys might put paws on these boys.
He did say that.
But the more I looked at it and the more I thought about it, part bias is in here because I'm not a Cowboys fan. I'm an Eagles fan.
Right.
But the more I thought about it, when Jerry Jones comes out and they ask him, is Mike McCarthy's job safe? And the dude replies with, we're taking this play game by game in these playoffs. You put an unfair amount of pressure on him. I don't like that. I don't like that answer. You don't say that publicly, dude. That is like, to me, that's like scathing. You don't stand behind the leader of your franchise on your team having that type of success. Now, look, I know they're 12-5 the last 3 years,
right?
But this year you get to the second seed. You look dead in the water to win the division, and you did more than win the division. And you're 17-0 at home. Now, the laws of average don't really favor you there.
True.
They don't. But I'm just saying, I don't like that comment by Jerry Jones at all. I thought it was unnecessary, and he just got to put his foot in his mouth. I thought that was stupid.
I feel like he could have deflected that question to not really put the
Mike McCarthy's my guy, or we're not talking about that. We're getting ready for the playoffs. You got Dan Quinn interviewing.
Well, he should have did a Bill Belichick response. He should have said Packers.
Yeah.
What do you think about Mike McCarthy's job? Packers. Straight up. That's my answer. That's what we're.
You got Dan. That's what I'm saying. You got Dan Quinn now. And now Seattle wants him, and it's like, as an Eagles fan, last year we freaked out about Jonathan Gannon doing this, and it's like, come on, man. And one thing that I think is, what's Dallas's weak spot on the defense? They can't stop the run. The last 3 games, I saw these stats. The last 3 games, Aaron Jones, 22 for 111, 20 for 120, and 21 for 127.
Yeah.
Jordan Love has Dontavius Wicks, and these boys looking all right.
Wick, man. Don't listen to Wikipedia. Straight up.
So I'm just saying, man, like I think this is going to be a tough game. I really do. And I think people are like, my first gut instinct was it could potentially be a blowout. And I don't think that. And I think a lot of people think that. But here's the thing. You know what else is the other part? Dallas's offense is one player. If you can stop, and now look, it's a tall task because CD has been playing the best wide receiver in the league.
He's awesome.
But Jair Alexander, he's good. My thing is, they have nobody. Cooks has been okay. Tony Pollard has been okay, if you want to say that.
Cooks has been serviceable in the red zone.
Cooks has been good. I'm not saying he's been horrible, but Gallup has been non-existent. Ferguson has been okay. But when you got CD Lamb 12 targets and 12 catches. And the next one, and it's Jake Ferguson with 4 targets and 4 catches. Brandon Cooks, 3 targets, 2 catches. It's like, all right, bro, your whole offense is predicated on 88.
Sure.
And 4, obviously, and Dak.
I don't hate it because that's your best player. You want to get him the ball.
Of course. I wish the Eagles would do that to A.J. Brown.
Every team should be doing that.
I know. I
mean, look, what the Cowboys are doing offensively is what they should be doing, is getting the ball to their best player. So I see what you're saying 100%. Is this a must-win game for Mike McCarthy? Absolutely. All the points that you said was factual. He cannot lose this game. I mean, especially against his former team, the position the Cowboys are in, and everything. But the one thing that you missed out on, and I want to bring up, is the head coaching candidacies that are available right now. And if Mike McCarthy slips up and fucks around and loses his game, there is plenty of options for Jerry Jones to go pick out another head coach. He's got Mike Vrabel, who will be excellent in Dallas. You got Bill Belichick, will be excellent in Dallas. They would.
Vrabel.
You put Belichick.
I'm more high on Vrabel, bro.
You put Belichick on the Cowboys, that defense would be number 1 in the league.
Because he would know. I mean, because of Parsons.
Parsons would be, bro. He would have Micah Parsons in so many different positions, Pauls.
Hold on I want James. I want to ask this real fast because James is in here and he said McCarthy has to make it to the NFC chip, or he's done. We ain't losing. Okay, so he thinks McCarthy has to get to the NFC chip. I think that's a fair assessment.
Sure, it is.
I mean, could you go as far as saying they got to get to the Super Bowl? I think that's kind of fair. I know they haven't.
I don't.
When's the last time they've been to an NFC chip? Was it 96?
Probably, it was 20 years ago.
30 if it's 26.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was 27 years ago.
So it was that. Yeah, they haven't been to one.
To get to the championship game,
I guess that's monumental for them.
That's huge for them.
Yeah.
So if it's just Super Bowl or bust, I'm out on that. I mean, I don't believe that's the case. But yeah, this is definitely a must-win game. You cannot go one and done with this roster. I think the Cowboys, they have a really good chance to go all the way this year. I mean, look at the landscape of the NFC. The only one that really scares you so far, honestly, is the Niners. Outside of that, who really scares you? I have a team in mind that would scare people. It might sound crazy. You're shaking your head over there. I can't wait to because
I know what it is.
I can't wait to reveal my picks later. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. But the Niners are the only team that could really fuck with them right now.
Yeah.
The Eagles, I don't think they could beat them. The Eagles are struggling on offense. Cowboys offense would outscore us.
Well, luckily the Eagles aren't going to have to play them because I think the Cowboys go down on Sunday.
Okay. You think Cowboys are losing?
I think the Cowboys are going down.
Oh.
I think they have all the pressure in the world. I don't like what Jerry Jones said about Mike McCarthy.
This is your upset of the
weekend? This is my upset of the weekend.
Okay.
And look, I know everybody's going to say I'm an Eagles fan. I hate the Cowboys. I get it. But I think Aaron Jones has been running crazy. I think there's a lot of expectations coming in on the Cowboys. I think there's a lot of pressure. I think Matt LaFleur has shown that he's a good coach. And I think I think it's a pressure situation. I think the game is close, and Mike McCarthy has a tendency to fuck shit up when it's close. And I think that the Packers could beat him on the back of Aaron Jones.
Wow.
I really do. And I'm standing by. I will not go. I'm going down on my sword.
I'm going to take the Cowboys.
But I'll tell you this. I'm saying this right now. If the Cowboys meet the Niners in the NFC Championship game, I'm buying a Dak jersey because I hate the Niners more than I hate the Cowboys. That's how much I can't stand the Niners. I can't stand them, bro. I really don't.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll give you a sneak peek of my prediction. The Niners and the Cowboys, only one of them I have going to the championship game.
Yeah, I know. I already know how you're rolling. I studied your behavior for a long time, Nick. It's been 3 years now, brother. I know your behavior. But go off, sis. It's your turn.
Anyway, yeah, they're winning this game. I like the Cowboys here. I like them to cover. I think Jordan Love's going to play good. I think he's going to play confidently. I think he's going to be poised. I don't think the moment's going to be too big for him. I do like all the points you're saying. Running the football on the road is always the key to success, especially when you can keep the defense, the opposing defense on the field. You could take the crowd out of it. Like, those are monumental points. But at the same time, I think the Cowboys, they're going to be ready for this matchup. They've been playing excellent all year at home. Albeit the last game, I think they struggled at home a little bit, but I think they bounce back here. I think they're going to win this football game. I think they're the better team. I think Green Bay's time is not here yet. I think Dallas it's just Dallas's year in terms of getting past these kind of teams. Like, I don't think they're going to slip up. But yeah, I like the Cowboys to advance to the divisional round. I really do. I think the Packers have
You think they roll?
I think they cover the spread. I do. I think it's a pretty big line. I think, look, I think the Packers are going to give them a fight in the first half, but I think the Cowboys will run away with this. I think, their defense is going to cause a lot of turnovers, and the Packers defense really isn't that good. So when I mix that with the Cowboys offense, I just think it's a bad matchup for Green Bay on that side of the ball.
We'll see. And look, like I said, I'm rationalizing it, part bias, because I want the Cowboys to lose because I'm not a Cowboys fan. But the other part of me is like Aaron Jones has been running that rock.
I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It can't happen, because what you said, if they can run the ball and they control the clock and they play good defense and get Dallas out of the own zone and make them kick field goals in the red zone, absolutely Green Bay has a chance.
The other part of it is too, bro, is like you said, the nothing to lose.
That scares me.
And that does, though, because it's like, bro, those teams don't know any better.
No, they don't.
And the like with the, I don't know, man, like the Packers, they've been in high pressure games now recently because they were must wins.
Yeah. I know.
So Jordan Love was getting, crazy amounts of experience. However, I'm really looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be a great game.
Excellent.
Even if Dallas does wind up winning, you know what I'm saying?
I think all these games are great, honestly.
I know. It's going to be a fun weekend.
There's not one game where I'm like, I'm okay with it.
All right, let's get to this bullshit. Rams at the Lions, -3.5. Jared Goff versus Matt Stafford, the trade. Lions got Jared Goff for a 2022 first-round pick, 2023 first-round pick, and a 21 third-round pick. Rams got Matt Stafford. Who do you think won that trade looking back?
Honestly, the Rams.
They won the Super Bowl.
They won the bowl.
There's nothing you could say.
There's nothing you could say. But now look, that trade set the Lions up in the future, right? You could argue that, because after this year, what if Matthew Stafford's gone? The Rams move on, right?
You think could Wentz be taken over?
No, hell no. He won't even be in the league.
Yo, he looked all right.
Yeah, but he won't be in the league next year.
He looked all right.
He won't be in the league next year.
He looked all right.
Anyway,
he looked all right though.
He won't be in the league. Anyway, but what I'm about to say is that, like, yeah, if like they can move on. The Lions had their quarterback. They had their they had 2 first-round picks, and they had a third-round pick that they selected. I forget who those players were. I think those players were actually impactful players too. I think they were allowed to get Jahmyr Gibbs in that process for those picks.
Yeah. Don't
quote me on that, but I think that was.
I think you're right.
I think something was up with that. But yeah, I liked what absolutely the Rams won this trade. Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to this game. This game is my game of the week, actually, probably.
Really?
Yeah. This game is special. We have never seen a team trade away a quarterback that's been there for 15 years plus, right? Get traded to a new team. The first time he goes to that new team, he wins a Super Bowl. That same team that was down in the dumps received a quarterback that was in a throwaway in the trade. Let's be real. You look at this trade. They got a 2022 first-round pick, 2023 first-round pick, and a 2021 third-round pick. Those 3 picks alone should warrant to receive Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff was thrown into the deal. So now that guy gets thrown into the deal. Ever since he's been with Detroit, he has made that team improve year after year. So it's a very ironic game. It's two teams colliding. I don't think Matthew Stafford hates the Lions, but I think Jared Goff hates the Rams. So it's a weird dynamic. Like, I don't think Matthew Stafford left on bad terms.
No, they let him pick where he went because he said, "I'll play anywhere but the Patriots."
Jared Goff has got the one with the chip on the shoulder.
I'm sorry, Matthew Stafford. Who did he say he would play? He would play for any team in the league except one. Who was it when he got traded?
Was it New England?
Yeah, who's the coach there?
Oh, well, he doesn't like being coached.
No, I'm just saying. Who's the coach there?
Bill Belichick.
Oh, all right.
He can't handle that. The cloth is different over
I
here.
can handle all that.
No. But see, the problem is the cloth is different over here in New England. That's why that man's the GOAT, because he was able to put up with that coaching for 20 years and dominate the way he
he could put up belittle. He could put up being belittled.
Absolutely.
He don't have no spine?
Who?
Brady?
He's put up with that shit for years. That's why he left.
I know.
Truthfully.
Truth be told, it is.
That's why he left.
It is, because he was tired of the bullshit.
And that dynasty doc is going to be fire.
Oh my God. Yes, I know. And also on the subject of documentaries, did you see the NBA? They're doing like you remember how they did NFL quarterback?
Yeah.
They're doing one NBA players. It's Anthony Edwards, LeBron, and I think Pascal Siakam.
And are they like in their training camp or their training days? Or
I don't know. I have no idea, but they said it's going to be like a mirror of how they did the NFL quarterback one, which I loved. It's just all the quarterbacks, he turned it down.
So they're going to be mic'd up playing basketball? How does that work?
I don't know. I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be fun.
But I cannot wait for this Rams-Lions game.
This game is just going to be special. I think this game is going to go either way. I got to be honest with you. My X factor in the game is Puka Nacua.
Really? My X factor is Laporta. Does he play?
I don't think he's going to play.
Because I was reading on Twitter today, and it said that there's a possibility. But look, the Lions play good at home, and I know the Rams got on a heater. They played well. There's a part of me that's like, are they being a little overrated? I mean, you got people talking about like they're going to the Super Bowl. And I know, I'm sorry, but I shouldn't have ruined your thing because that's what you're doing. I know
well, I know
you
didn't say they were going to the Super Bowl. That's not true.
I got you. I know what you're saying. But I just feel like, look, I have no ill will towards the Rams. Like I like Sean McVay. I think he's an awesome coach. I don't think one way or the other. I have the Lions winning this game. The Lions play well at home, and I feel like I like the Lions, man. My gut tells me the Lions. I feel like everybody's picking the Rams.
See, I think everybody's picking the Lions because they want to. Like they want the Lions to win.
Well, obviously, I want the Lions to win because I want to see Dan Campbell. The Motor City deserves a playoff win, bro. If there's one franchise that deserves a playoff win, it's the Lions.
That's why I hate this game for them. I really don't like this game for him, man.
We need Dan Campbell, bro.
I mean, Puka Nacua in this game is going to be lights out, dude. He's been awesome all year.
I know. It's a tall task.
Because if you single coverage him, he's going to kill you. If you single Cooper Kupp, he's going to kill you. Yeah. What do? And they can run the football. They have a 1,000-yard rusher. And I know Detroit can run the ball, and I know they can pass the ball. But without Laporta, without that guy eating up that much space in the middle, it's going to be tough sledding for them, man. I think the Rams have been playing really good ball. I know they struggled against the Giants, but they were playing the Giants, man. Like, I don't think I don't think they had any business wanting to go to New York to play the Giants. It was just one of those games.
Oh, like, I don't even think of that, bro.
I think a lot of people, overshadowed. I think a lot of people take that with them and bring it to the playoffs, right? I look at this Rams team, man, they were clicking down the road. The hottest team in the end usually goes far.
That's Sunday night, right? The Rams and Lions?
Sunday night.
Yeah, Pack and Bullies are 4:30.
Sunday night. And I'll tell you what, in prime time, I can't go against the Rams in prime time. I just can't. Playoffs on the line, McVay, Matthew Stafford, been there before, experience. I know Detroit hasn't been there.
Goff been there.
Yeah, but I think a big accomplishment for Detroit was getting to the playoffs. I think that was a huge lift off their shoulders.
I think for Dan Campbell, solely Dan Campbell. I think it felt good for the players, but I think that was more for Dan Campbell because Dan Campbell, if he didn't make the playoffs this year, he was out.
For his job.
Because last year they were kind of calling for his head when they started like 1-5.
They'd be crazy for that. He's awesome. Dan Campbell's an excellent.
Dan Campbell is built for 8 Mile.
Yeah, he's built for this kind of game. He's built for these kind of moments.
That team's going to be ready to play.
They're going to be ready to play, but I think the Rams will be too. They'll be rested too. The Rams didn't play their starters last week until the first half. When Puka got his catches and got his incentives, that's it. They took him out of the game. That team, I've seen videos throughout the whole year. When they come into that locker room, I watched that team, bro. There's something there.
Who?
The Rams.
Oh, I got you.
There's something special about that team. I can't put my hands on it. When I watch videos of them celebrating in the locker room, that team's together. That team loves each other. The way the head coach speaks about his players and backs them up.
Not for nothing. You can make a case that Sean McVay should be coach of the year.
It's a strong locker room. It's a strong. I had the Rams done. I had them winning no more than 5 games this year. I'm serious. I thought
that was your ass's take.
That was my worst take. Well, that and the Jags, that's for sure. But I had the Browns in the playoffs. I had the Bengals out of the playoffs. I had the Jets out of the playoffs. Fool's gold. Told you, fool's gold.
Who?
The Jets.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers got hurt 5 minutes into the season, dude.
Why is that?
Had nothing to do with the line.
Get the fuck out. They killed him.
Bro, he played like 2 plays.
Because the reason why he played 2 plays.
He tried to scramble, Nick.
They tried to scramble because the offensive line couldn't block a lick.
Nick, it was the second play of the season.
The reason why the Jets' downfall is because their offensive line. You know that, and I know that. Let's be real.
Aaron Rodgers wasn't there.
Because if his offensive line didn't hold they didn't block.
I'm not going to win this one, so
it.
you can have it.
And
You can have it.
That's okay.
Proceed, bro.
But that's the reason why it was fool's gold.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'm taking who you got in this game. I'm going to ask you first.
Is Carson Wentz starting?
No.
Oh, then I got the Lions.
So if Carson Wentz was starting, you would take the Rams?
Absolutely. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just playing on that. I'm just playing on that.
We
Now,
got viewers that actually respect our takes.
Chill
Can't
on
be
me.
saying shit like that.
Chill on me. I got the Lions. I got the Rams with the points, though. I think this is a tight game. I can see the Lions winning on like a late second field goal if Dan Campbell actually decides to fucking kick it instead of get mad and go for a 2-point conversion on the fucking 7-yard line.
You know why he did that? He said he was a man of his word.
He couldn't control.
Yeah, he did. Guess what he said? He said, I told the offense we're going to go down, and when we score, we're going for 2. He said nothing changed. I already told him what we're going to do.
Bro, use your brain, though. You're on the 7-yard line.
That's what he said. Yo, and I respect that, man. I do, yo. Like, yo,
I got the Lions winning on a last second field goal, like 31-30 or 28-27 or some shit like that. I got the Rams with the points.
Got the Rams with the point.
But I like the Lions here a lot, and I'm really, really rooting for them. I might be rooting more for the Lions than I would the Eagles this weekend.
You know, it sucks because I like the Lions too. I love the Lions. I like their story. I love everything they embody. I appreciate the hard-nosed, blue-collar working. I love that shit, man. I love Dan Campbell. I really do.
Bro, when's the Lions' last playoff one?
But they're a team in the NFC right now.
The Lions haven't won a playoff game. Take a guess.
It's been like what, 1990? No, it was about 80 something, right?
91.
91.
Bro, I was born that year.
Wow. So 31.
You weren't born yet because you were 92.
Yeah, I wasn't even born.
Phil, what year were you born?
92.
Oh yeah, April.
So Phil wasn't born, and neither was Theories. That's crazy.
I was the only one. I was the only one out of my mama. Crazy.
Anyways, I'm taking the Rams. I think no, they ain't a team in the NFC right now that is hotter than the fucking Rams. Straight up, don't care. I've watched this team execute. I've seen they got 2 all-pro wide receivers that are healthy, right? They got a 1,000-yard rusher. They got a future Hall of Fame quarterback, a Super Bowl champion. They got a Hall of Fame head coach in Sean McVay, because I do believe he's a Hall of Fame coach. Absolutely. Yeah. His trajectory is as out of this world. He's already got a bowl. He's been there twice. He's been the staple of the NFL for the Rams in the last 6 years. So yeah, absolutely. This team, nobody wants to fuck with this team. On God. This team is the scariest team in the NFC. I believe that. They are hot. And they have experience. I got the Rams here. I'm taking the Rams. Outright, straight up. I think they go on the road. I think they beat the Lions. I think the Lions build off this for next season. I think the Lions will come back a lot stronger next season too. Whereas I think next year they could possibly get the 1 seed depending on how schedule is, because they'll have a hard schedule.
Yeah.
However, the Lions will bounce back from this win. I think it's a good building block for the Lions.
Probably.
However, the Rams, this is the last. They have nothing to lose either, bro. They already won a Super Bowl.
That's a fair point.
They won a Super Bowl. They know how to get it done. That's the one team that can get it done. I'll take the Rams.
Love it. All right. Monday Night Football, Eagles -2.5 at the Buccaneers. The fact that the Eagles are 2.5-point favorites is mind-blowing.
Yeah, I know.
Again, I use this reference a lot. They shouldn't be 2.5 points favorites against Highland right now, because they just haven't shown anything. That's what it is. But with that being said, I'm still ride or die, and I still believe in my team. Okay. And I'm not jumping off the wagon here. I am not jumping off of this wagon. This team has too much damn talent.
Yeah.
I do like what Brandon Graham said. And Chris Long said that he's had that the pressure, if they were home, could have melted them. But now that they're on the road, backs are against the wall. This is where Jalen went to his first playoff game. Mm-hmm. And it's like, can they find something here? But I'm not jumping off this bandwagon. I still believe in them. Oh, look, my confidence is shaken. I'm down, but I'm not out on them. Yep. I'm not out on them, and I refuse to be until they lose. Until they lose one of these playoff games. You're getting Slay back. And I do believe, too, Mike Evans is a monster, obviously, but he's not a burner down the field. And I believe that can help the Eagles with Slay coming back. So that's kind of my rationale.
Okay.
In that aspect.
So you got the Birds winning this game. Birds are covering the spread.
I think, honestly, dude, with that line, it tells me the Eagles might put polls.
Look, The bottom line is the Eagles absolutely have zero business being favorites in this game, bro. They have been playing. They have lost 5 games out of the last 6, right? After starting 10-1. They are the coldest team to enter the playoffs,
Can
right?
I jump in real fast?
Yeah.
The fact, what's mind-blowing to me, the Eagles were 10-1 and didn't finish with 12 wins. That's number 1. Number 2.
What was their over-under? 11.5?
10.5, I think, or 11.5. One of them. So imagine being 10-1, bro. You're spending money like it's fucking water.
Could you imagine losing?
But that would be something that would happen to us.
Facts.
But let me say this: how they beat the Bills, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, how they beat those teams is just something that I can't explain because they don't even look like the same team.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what's happening. I'm hoping that there's something in there that where they figure it out and it gets going. And maybe maybe this is the game where they come in there, they do it, they get on track against Baker and them because the Bucs defense ain't that good. They figure something out. And again, our D-backs, are they great? No. But I think they're better than what they show. But the problem is the D-line isn't getting home. If they can get to Baker and make pressure, maybe he makes a mistake or two. But I feel like the Eagles can win this game. I think they will win this game. And I think they can win this. I think they win this game by about 10 points.
I love the assessment because I totally agree everything you said. When I looked at this line, I said there's just no way the Eagles should be favored. They just shouldn't be favored. They are the coldest team to enter the playoffs as I can remember. I don't remember a team that was this cold going into the playoffs. Bro, they lost 5 out of the last 6 games.
And I love Baker, and this sucks for me.
I'm sorry. I think the Birds are going to whoop the Buccaneers. I just have a hunch. I feel like the Eagles are going to beat their ass. And I don't have any proof of this. The only proof I have is just that I can't wrap my fucking brain around this team being road favorites, losing 5 out of the last 6 games. Give me the Eagles -3 all day long. I won't even second guess it. It's not even worth it.
Nick, and it was the Cardinals. You barely beat the Giants. You lose to the Cardinals, and then you lose to the Giants. And you don't just lose to the Giants. You get the fucking brakes beat off of you.
The Bucs had to battle back to win the division. They should be labeled as a hot team, quote unquote.
I know.
They're not. The Eagles are the coldest of the bunch. Out of all the playoff teams, AFC, NFC, the Eagles are by far the coldest team entering the playoffs. They should never be favorites on the road, bro.
Yeah.
That's concerning for me. If I'm a Bucs fan, I'm taking the Eagles all day. And I think it's going to be, I think the Eagles are going to handle them. I really do. I think the one thing that really scares me, and I'll be honest with you, is Mike Evans. Because our secondary, it's going to get smoked. It could potentially get smoked against Evans.
It could, but Mike Evans isn't a burner. He's more of a possession guy.
He can get past the defense.
He can, but I think Darius Slay can keep up with him better than he can keep up with CD Lamb.
Huge.
It's big. I know it is.
Major. Pause.
Yeah, my fault.
It is. Like that's a big get for the Eagles defense. They needed that. They needed him coming back. So now I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, if Mike Evans is my only worry and we have Darius Slay coming back, I'll put Slay and I'll put a safety over the top and I'll cover Mike Evans all day. I'll beg you to have Chris Godwin beat me all day. I'll beg you to have Trey Palmer in the slot beat me all day. I'll beg you to do all these things to have Cade Otton beat me across the middle all day. Why? Because those players aren't going to beat me. Mike Evans is a player that can beat you. He's a game changer. The other guys that I mentioned are not game changers. When you take out the game changer, you have a way better chance of winning. And I think the Eagles need to focus on Mike Evans. I think they need to fucking send the fucking house.
Go after Baker. I'm so glad you said that.
He is hurt. Go after him. Blitz up the middle, blitz during the edge. Do anything you can to get him off his spot and make turnovers. That's what the Eagles
and put a helmet on him.
We used to do that. The Eagles used to put fucking helmets on people. They used to smack people. They used to set the tone. Remember what's his name in that playoff game that smacked Reggie Bush? What was it? Sheldon Brown absolutely leveled Reggie Bush. It would be a flag in today's game.
Yeah.
But you know what? I say so fucking what?
Yeah.
That's how you set the tone. It's a fucking playoff game. I'm coming to take your head off. We're on the road. We're here. We arrived. We're in Tampa. We're ready to take over. That's the mindset they got to have. Come out, guns blazing, and start laying the fucking wood. That's what I'm expecting from the Eagles in this game. And I think they do it. I really do. I think they heard all the chatter about them being trash, this, that, and the third. When it comes playoffs are a different animal than they are in the regular season. And I think I want to believe that since they paid Jalen Hurts $250 million, I would like to assume that he is going to elevate his game in the playoffs because that's what he was paid to do. I'm expecting that. I'm expecting the Eagles to win this game. I don't care. This is an Eagles win. If the Eagles do not win this game, we have a lot of questions going into the offseason.
Absolutely.
A ton of questions.
Absolutely.
And I think this is the game where Eagles fans can take a step back and be like, okay, we were struggling. Our team may not be the best, but you know what? They are getting as far as they can. Because I don't think the Eagles right now can go to the Super Bowl, but I think they can get past the wild card round, and I think they're expected to do that, hence why they are favorites. I'm taking the Eagles.
Me too. All right, Super Bowl predictions before we get out of here. You want to go first or second?
All right. So you want to break down? Do you have a bracket style, or are you just going through?
I could tell you what I have, how it goes. So I'll start in the AFC.
Yep.
I have the Texans over the Browns, the Dolphins over the Chiefs, the Bills over the Steelers. I then have the Ravens over the Dolphins, the Bills over the Texans, and then the Ravens beating the Bills in the AFC Championship game.
Okay.
In the NFC, I have...
Wait, the Bills playing the Ravens championship game?
Yeah.
And who's winning?
The Ravens.
Okay.
Ravens are going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I have the Packers beating the Cowboys. I have the Lions beating the Rams. I have the Eagles beating the Buccaneers. Then I have the Niners beating the Packers, the Eagles beating the Lions, and the Niners beating the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl. I don't think... And now look, I said before...
The Eagles go to the championship game?
I think the Eagles go to the championship game the way the bracket breaks for them.
Okay. Who do they got? Who do they play in the second round?
The Lions.
Okay.
It's the Eagles versus Lions.
I could see that.
But I think that the Niners are just better than the Eagles right now. And I don't think that they want to tackle Debo. And then I have the Ravens beating the Niners and Lamar Jackson winning his first Super Bowl with the MVP. And I believe the last quarterback to do that might have been Kurt Warner.
Okay. All right.
But Lamar Jackson gets that Super Bowl trophy.
I like it.
And much as it pains me to say the Niners, because I hate that fucking team.
Okay.
But it's just the way I have my bracket, that's the way it goes.
All right. I'm going to start off in the NFC, the wild card round. I already gave you guys my picks earlier, but I'll reiterate them again. Packers at Cowboys. I got the Cowboys. Rams at Lions. I got the Rams. Eagles at Bucks. I'll take the Eagles. Now, divisional round in the NFC, I got the Rams at the 49ers. Give me the Rams in an upset. Divisional round again, Eagles at Cowboys. I'm sorry, Goffar. I'm taking the Cowboys. I know. I apologize. I know you're going to jump out. You want to jump through the screen and choke me and strangle me, and I get it. But we're talking about X's and O's here. The Eagles right now are not struggling. They'll be lucky to get past the Bucks, even though I think they will. So I got the Rams and the Cowboys divisional round, and in the championship game, Rams at Cowboys.
I was waiting for you to see that, dude. I was waiting for you to see that. Marcos, he's Mr. Second Amendment. The dude can't even fucking spell rifle.
Oh. Anyway, so I got the Rams and the Cowboys in the championship game.
Okay.
That's my NFC championship game. AFC, wild card round. Browns at Texans. I got the Browns. Dolphins at Chiefs. Steelers at Bills. Divisional round. Browns at Ravens. I'm going with the Browns. You heard me? You heard me loud and clear? I said it last week. The Browns are the fucking best team that can knock out the Ravens, and they will. They will. They will. Absolutely. Chiefs at Bills. Bills get revenge. Bills smoke their ass, actually. The Chiefs. Divisional round. Bills get their revenge. They crush them. I got the Browns and the Bills in the championship game. It's fucking bananas. That's how I'm expecting this year to go. Look at the state of the NFL. Up and down, up and down, up and down. There are upsets to be had in this playoffs. I believe that wholeheartedly. I don't think the Niners and the Ravens are going to the bowl. I just don't believe it. I think when it's too obvious, you go the other way. That's where I'm going. Championship game, Browns at Bills. I got the Bills. I do. I don't love it because I think the Browns could beat the Bills based on X's and O's, based on their defense to stop Josh Allen and create turnovers on the road. They had the recipe for success. They could run the football, they could play good offense, and they have an excellent defense. The Browns have the method. But the Bills are going to do something this year that they haven't done, and they have been waiting for.
Oh my God,
They've been waiting for this, bro. Super Bowl. Bills versus Rams. Bills versus Rams. You heard me. Bills versus the Rams. Super Bowl. It sounds crazy. I get it. Rams, hottest team in the NFC right now, outside the Niners. But guess what? They'll play them in divisional round. And guess what? They play in the same division. They play twice a year. This will be the third time. And who beat them last time? The Rams. The Rams could beat them. That's the one team the Niners don't want to fucking face in the division.
I'm familiar with them.
Absolutely. I'm going to take the upset there. I think the Rams are the hottest team in the NFC, bro. It's the Rams and the Browns are the hottest team in the playoffs. Super Bowl, Bills versus Rams. I'm taking the Bills to win the bowl.
Is Josh Allen Super Bowl MVP?
Josh Allen is my Super Bowl MVP.
Go figure. All right, everybody. That concludes episode 190. We will be back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I can't wait to see how our predictions come out for the first round of the playoffs. Nick, take it away.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was fucking interesting. And it took me a little while to cook that up, man. I had to sit down and think. But if you guys think that I'm shot out, then that's all good. I just want to hear your guys' comments. Leave a comment in the episode thumbnail or whatever you guys got to do. We appreciate everybody rocking with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher,
and all that other shit.
Also, follow us on all of our social platforms as you do not want to miss our daily content on Instagram, X, Facebook, and TikTok. And we will see you guys next week at P&I, baby. Enjoy a wild card weekend.
I'm caps lock different. It's facts, not fiction. Said I black out for real, then the track gone missing. If it's cap, I'm dipping. We ain't talking about a move, then it's flatline finished. When I spaz, I'm grinning. Put a peel off in the Sadies and I pass by spinning. It's perks with this life, but I don't have my skinach. Took a quick trip and now I'm back home winning. And I see they eyes pop like I snack on spinach. Pull up to the spot, she tryna grab my digits. I'm already 8 shots, a Henny past my limit. Here you go. Hazards with a dash full of tickets, I'ma act like I don't